Power. It's the invisible force that shapes every move you make, every deal, every argument, every glance across a room. It's not loud, but it's always there, deciding who rises, who falls, and who writes the rules. Welcome to the game that never sleeps. And today, we're cracking open its playbook, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This isn't just a book. It's a weapon, a mirror, and a map to navigating the world's oldest contest. You're watching the first video in our series, where we'll unpack all 48 laws, one by one, to show you how power works and how you can wield it. Buckle up. We're diving into the structure, the soul, and the sheer audacity of this modern classic. Let's begin. First things first. What is the 48 Laws of Power? Published in 1998, it's the brainchild of Robert Greene, a writer obsessed with the mechanics of human ambition, and Joost Elfers, a designer who helped shape its bold aesthetic. Together, they crafted a book that's less about telling you what to think and more about showing you what is. It's sold over 1 million copies, been translated into 24 languages, and found its way onto the desks of CEOs, the playlists of hip-hop artists, and the nightstands of anyone who's ever wanted to understand why some people win, while others just don't. Why the hype? Because the 48 Laws doesn't preach, it dissects. It pulls back the curtain on power's raw machinery, how it's built, how it's lost, how it's stolen. Greene doesn't care if you're a saint or a schemer. He's not here to judge, he's here to teach. And that's what makes this book dangerous. Or liberating, depending on how you read it. It's been called a Bible for strategists, a handbook for hustlers, even a warning for the naive. But one thing it's not: boring. Every page crackles with stories. Kings outwitting rivals, con artists flipping the script, leaders falling for traps they never saw coming. Now, before we go deeper, let's set the stage for this series. Over the coming videos, we'll tackle each of the 48 laws, one per episode, breaking them down with real-world examples, practical tips, and a no-nonsense lens. But today's job is bigger. We're laying the foundation. What this book is, how it's built, and why it matters. Think of this as your orientation to the battlefield of power. By the end, you'll see why the 48 Laws isn't just a read, it's a mindset. And trust me, once you start seeing the world through its lens, you can't unsee it. To understand the 48 Laws, you've got to know where it came from. Robert Greene wasn't born with a silver spoon or a corner office. He was a guy working odd jobs, screenwriting, editing, hustling. When he started noticing patterns, the people who climbed the ladder fastest weren't always the smartest or the hardest working. They were the ones who understood people, their egos, their fears, their blind spots. Greene got curious. He dug into history, philosophy, war, politics, anything that explained why some names echo through time while others fade. Greene's big insight? Power isn't chaos, it's a system. And it's been studied before by strategists like Machiavelli, who taught us to prioritize results over ideals, by Sun Tzu, who saw war as a game of deception, by figures like Talleyrand, who survived revolutions by bending with the wind. Greene took these lessons, mixed them with modern psychology, and distilled them into something new. A guide for anyone, not just kings or generals. That's where Joost Elfers came in. He saw Greene's vision and gave it form. A book that feels like a Renaissance artifact, with bold type, stark margins, and a weight that says, this isn't casual reading. Their goal was ambitious: create a manual for power that works in any arena, corporate, creative, personal, political. Not by preaching ethics or promising quick fixes, but by showing you the levers others pull to get ahead. It's not about being good or bad. It's about being effective. Greene says it himself in the preface. Power is immoral. It doesn't care about your intentions. It rewards those who understand its rules and punishes those who don't. That's the book's first lesson, and it hits hard. Now, this approach ruffles feathers. Some read the 48 Laws and see a call to ruthlessness, scheming your way to the top, no matter who gets hurt. Others see it as a defense manual. how to spot the snakes before they strike. Greene's stance: he's not telling you what to do. He's giving you the map. You decide the path. That's why the book's purpose is nanti to make you a tyrant or a saint. It's to make you awake. Awake to the games being played around you every day, whether you're in a penthouse or a cubicle. And that's what sets the 48 Laws apart. It's not a self-help book promising warm fuzzies. It's a reality check built for a world where trust is a luxury and attention is a weapon. But to really get it, we need to talk about how it's put together, because the way this book is structured is half its genius. Let's talk architecture. The 48 Laws of Power isn't a novel or a memoir. It's a system built like a machine for understanding power. At its heart are 48 chapters, each one a law, a single rule that captures some truth about how influence works. These aren't vague platitudes like, be confident. They're sharp, specific, sometimes brutal. Never outshine the master. Crush your enemy totally. Assume formlessness. Each law stands alone. You can open to any chapter and walk away with something actionable. But together, they form a web, a way of seeing the world where every move counts. Now, here's where Greene's craft shines. Every chapter follows the same structure, like a recipe for strategy. Let's break it down. First, you get the judgment, the law itself stated in bold, no fluff. Take Law 1. Never outshine the master. It's not a suggestion, it's a warning. Make your boss look bad and you're done. Simple, but deadly. Next comes the transgression of the law, a story of someone who broke the rule and paid the price. For Law 1, Greene tells us about Nicolas Fouquet, a 17th century French financier who threw a party so lavish it made King Louis XIV jealous. Big mistake. Fouquet was arrested, exiled, and forgotten. The lesson? Ego blinds you, and power punishes pride. But Greene doesn't stop there. He flips it with the observance of the law, a story of someone who followed the rule and won. Staying with Law 1, we get Galileo, the scientist who dedicated his discoveries to his patrons, making them look brilliant while securing their support. He didn't just survive, he thrived. The contrast is deliberate. Screw up, you fall. Play smart, you rise. Then comes the interpretation, Greene's analysis of why the law works. For Law 1, he explains that people in power crave validation, not competition. Outshine them and you trigger insecurity, which turns to rage. It's not fair, it's human. This is where Greene's psychology kicks in, showing you the wiring behind the behavior. Finally, you get the keys to power, practical tips for applying the law today. For Law 1, Greene says, flatter subtly, redirect praise, let others feel superior. He also throws in a reversal, when breaking the law might work. Sometimes, outshining a weak master can push them aside, but it's risky. This structure, judgment, transgression, observance, interpretation keys, repeats for all 48 laws, making each chapter a mini masterclass. Let's try another example to show the range. Jump to Law 23, concentrate your forces. The judgment? Focus your energy, don't spread yourself thin. The transgression? Greene tells of a medieval duke who split his army across too many fronts and got crushed. The observance? A merchant who poured all his resources into one trade route and built an empire. The interpretation? Power rewards focus because scattered efforts dilute impact. The keys? Prioritize, streamline, strike hard. It's a different flavor from Law 1, but the structure holds. Every law is a lesson, every story a proof. Now let's fast forward to Law 48, assume formlessness, the book's final law and its deepest cut. The judgment? Don't be predictable, stay fluid like water to avoid being trapped. The transgression? Armies that clung to old tactics and got outmaneuvered. The observance? Figures like Cleopatra, who shifted personas, queen, lover, goddess, to keep power through chaos. The interpretation? Rigidity invites attack, adaptability disarms it. The keys? change your style, dodge patterns, keep others guessing. Law 48 feels like the book S thesis. Power is static, it S motion. Why this structure? Because it's not just a book, it's a training ground. Each chapter forces you to think like a strategist. The stories pull you in. Kings, spies, artists, but the real work happens in your head. You start asking, have I seen this law in my life? Am I breaking it right now? Greene doesn't spoon-feed answers. He gives you tools, 48 of them, and says, figure it out. That's why the book feels alive, like it's speaking to you, whether you're a student or a CEO. And the design isn't random. The book's layout, short chapters, bold headers, sidebars with fables and quotes, mimics a war manual, something you'd carry into battle. It's dense but digestible, meant to be revisited, not read once and shelved. Greene wants you to internalize these laws, to see them in every handshake, every email, every silence. That's the power of the structure. It doesn't just inform, it transforms. So, we've got the blueprint. But what's the big picture? The 48 laws aren't a random list. They're a system, woven around a few core ideas that run through every chapter. Let's break them down. Control, perception, deception, and adaptability. These are the pillars of power, and understanding them is how you start seeing the game clearly. First up, control. Power starts with mastering yourself, your emotions, your impulses, your weaknesses. Laws like Law 3, conceal your intentions, or Law 4, always say less than necessary, are about discipline. Why? Because the moment you let anger, greed, or desperation show, you've handed your rivals a weapon. Greene tells stories of generals who won wars by staying calm while their enemies unraveled. Control isn't just about you, it's about others too. Law 16, use absence to increase respect and honor, teaches you to pull back, make people chase you. It's chess, not checkers. Next, perception. Power isn't what you are, it's what people think you are. Law 5, so much depends on reputation, guard it with your life, hammers this home. A single rumor can ruin you. A well-crafted image can make you untouchable. Greene shows how figures like P.T. Barnum built empires by shaping what people believed, not what was true. Or take Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. It's not about lying. It's about understanding that humans crave stories, heroes, myths. Control the narrative, and you control the room. Then there's deception. This one raises eyebrows, but Greene's blunt. Power often hinges on misdirection. Law 14, pose as a friend, work as a spy, isn't about betrayal. It's about information. Know more than your opponent, and you're already ahead. Law 13, when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, flips the script on kindness. Don't beg, offer something they want. Deception doesn't mean evil, it means playing the angles others don't see. Think of diplomats who smile while plotting, or businesses that charm you while cornering the market. Finally, adaptability. This is where Law 48, assume formlessness, shines as the book's closing note. The world changes, alliances shift, trends fade, enemies evolve. Cling to one strategy, one identity, and you're a sitting duck. Greene loves examples like Talleyrand, who navigated France's revolutions by switching sides without losing his head, literally. Or modern disruptors, who pivot fast while others dig in. Adaptability isn't spinelessness, it's strength, the kind that bends but never breaks. These themes, control, perception, deception, adaptability, aren't separate. They overlap like gears in a machine. Law 1, never outshine the master, is about perception. Don't threaten egos. And control, manage your ambition. Law 23, concentrate your forces, mixes control, focus your energy, with adaptability, pick the right moment. The beauty of the 48 laws is how it trains you to see these connections, to think 3 steps ahead instead of reacting on impulse. But here is the real kicker. The book isn't about memorizing 48 rules like a robot. It's about internalizing a mindset. Greene's not saying, do this, then that. He's saying, see the board. Power isn't a formula. It's a dance. You learn the steps, but you've got to feel the rhythm. That S why the laws build to Law 48. Assume formlessness isn't it just a tactic. It S a philosophy. Be water, not stone. Flow around obstacles, fill the gaps, slip through cracks. It's the ultimate edge in a world that never stops moving. And don't mistake this for a call to be ruthless. The books are moral, not immoral. You can use these laws to crush foes or lift allies, to manipulate or to protect. The point is choice. Knowing the rules gives you options. Ignore them, and you're just a pawn, pushed by someone who read the book before you. Let's talk impact. Since 1998, the 48 Laws of Power has been a lightning rod. It's been banned in prisons, studied in boardrooms, quoted in rap lyrics, and debated on talk shows. Why? Because it doesn't play nice. Critics call it a playbook for sociopaths, saying it glorifies manipulation and erodes trust. They point to laws like crush your enemy totally and say, this is why the world's messed up. Fair enough. Taken out of context, some laws sound cold. But defenders have a different take. They say Greene's not inventing these tactics, he's exposing them. The world's always been a jungle. He's just handing you a map. Entrepreneurs love it for its clarity. Laws like make your accomplishments seem effortless help them stand out. Activists use it to outmaneuver opponents without violence. Even everyday folks find it eye-opening. Law 9, win through your actions, never through argument, can save you from pointless fights at work or home. The truth? Both sides have a point. Power can corrupt, and these laws can be twisted. But ignorance isn't a shield. Knowing the game protects you from players who don't care about your morals. Greene's genius is making you decide for yourself. He doesn't hide the dark side, but he doesn't endorse it either. It's a mirror showing you the world, and maybe parts of yourself you'd rather not see. And that's why it endures. In 2025, with social media battles, corporate shakeups, and global shifts, the laws feel more relevant than ever. Every like, every deal, every trending post is a power play. The 48 Laws gives you X-ray vision to see through the noise and maybe add your own signal. So where do we go from here? This is just the start. In this series, we're diving into each of the 48 laws, one video at a time. We'll break them down with stories, past and present, that show how they work, and we'll give you tools to apply them, whether you're chasing dreams or dodging traps. Next up, Law 1, never outshine the master. It's the perfect place to begin, because power always starts with knowing your place and how to move from it. But we need you in this journey. Subscribe now, hit that bell, and join us as we unpack the game of power. Got a law you're curious about? Drop it in the comments. Maybe it's Law 5 on reputation, or Law 48 on staying fluid. Or tell us, where have you seen these laws in your life? The best comments might shape our next videos, so don't hold back. The 48 Laws of Power isn't just a book, it's a challenge to see the world clearly, to play smarter, to choose your moves with eyes wide open. Power isn't given, it's taken, earned, or lost. Which one will it be for you? Stick with us and let's find out together. Until next time, stay sharp.